Have you saved at least $500,000 for retirement? If so, there are some really important things to be aware of when it comes to Medicare to protect those retirement savings. And in most cases, financial advisors kind of miss this piece, but also the financial software. So in this video, let's talk about the key things that you should be aware of when you have saved a decent amount of money when it comes to retirement. I'm Emily with the Medicare Coach, an independent Medicare consultant, helping our clients navigate both the government rules of Medicare, but also all of the insurance company options to help you do what's right and best for you to protect your retirement savings, but to also have the best healthcare possible. So in this video, let's talk about, for those of you who have saved more for retirement, what are the key things to be aware of? Additionally, in the section below, I will share with you some other resources to make your life easy when it comes to Medicare. So, if you have saved, usually the tipping point is around $500,000 for retirement. There's some really important things to be aware of when it comes to Medicare. I say this because at that point in time, you've worked hard for your savings, and you likely don't want to spend it on things like unnecessary healthcare expenses, right? Now, people who've saved less than that, they might have somewhat accepted that if they make a mistake, they'll simply spend all their money away, maybe go bankrupt, and then Medicaid will cover you. And Medicaid is low-income health insurance in most cases. Medicare is usually health insurance for those of you who are 65 and over. So there's two different programs when it comes to the healthcare system in America. So because you have money saved, I'm guessing you want to spend on other things like not having to work or maybe a vacation or other things that you have planned for retirement. So in order to protect that money for fun things, we have to do certain things right when it comes to Medicare, okay? And the first question I always ask to people is, what is your long-term goal when it comes to your healthcare? Because of Medicare's guarantee issuance rules, we can't change plans every single year. So we have to be thoughtful when we first join Medicare to protect your retirement savings. Now, at a high level, you've probably seen another of my videos, but there's two main Medicare programs. There's Original Medicare, and there's also Medicare Advantage. For our clients who tend to have higher retirement savings who want to protect it, they tend to prefer to be on Original Medicare, where they're going to have Medicare A and B, they're going to have Medicare Part D, and usually a Medicare supplement plan. And our higher income, higher savings people tend to like that because, well, yes, this path tends to have higher premiums. It also tends to have much lower out-of-pocket costs, much lower denial rates. So that way, when you do have health issues, you tend to have better coverage. Now, Medicare Advantage, on the other hand, is oftentimes advertised for zero premiums, free dental, free vision, things like that. But these plans can be tricky when we have a larger amount of savings because they tend to have higher denial rates, and they also tend to have much higher out-of-pocket costs, between $5,000 and $10,000 a year for most plans. And paying $10,000 a year for a couple years can be extremely detrimental to retirement savings. Now, Advantage plans can work best if your doctor only takes them, but in most cases, if you're watching this video, you have more of a retirement savings, and in that case, usually Original Medicare is your better option. So the key strategy for you is to think long-term about your Medicare, because the program that you pick will impact the cash flow from your retirement savings for your healthcare. And because of guarantee issuance rights, we're not guaranteed to change to a Medicare supplement plan later, or possibly even change supplement plans in the future. So when we first join, we have to get this kind of program and plan right as well. Again, most of you with higher incomes or higher savings tend to pay slightly more in premiums to reduce your lower out-of-pocket costs in the long run. So again, that's an important thing when you have a higher savings. I also want to add one little bonus tip too here. If you have a higher savings, you might also have a higher income. And I want to remind you that Medicare has what's called IRMAA, Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amounts. And it's more or less a penalty if you've had a higher income. Now, Medicare looks at your income from 2 years ago to determine what you're going to pay for Medicare today. And as I do this video, it's about the point of penalties start if you're making $100,000 or more as an individual, or around $200,000 or more as a couple. So again, they look 2 years back to determine what you pay for Medicare. So if you do have a higher income, there are other things to be aware of. We can oftentimes be proactive with income appeals so we can bring your premiums down as well. But again, this is one more thing to consider when you have a higher income, which usually coincides with that higher savings as well. So I hope this is helpful. Many people don't talk to you about how these higher income, higher savings factors impact you. So I hope you know what to look for so you can ultimately save yourself money in both the short term and long term. I'm Emily with the Medicare Coach, and I look forward to helping you easily make your right Medicare decision.